Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today as I share my final reflection on the course Comparative Education System. My name is Leticia Nakale, a master student at IUM, and I'm also a head of department at Dr. Franz Aupaindongo Primary School. This journey was not only about studying different education systems around the world, it was deep dive into how education is interconnected with politics, economics, culture and history, and also how these forces shape what and how we learn. This course shaped my thinking as an educational leader. It taught me to look out from local issues and see the bigger global patterns influencing education everywhere. Let me take you through 5 key areas that shaped my learning. Number 1 is what comparative education means and why it is crucial today. Number 2, how the course assignments challenged and expanded my perspective. Number 3, theories and readings that transformed my understanding. And number 4, eye-opening insight from visiting experts. And finally, how this course has reshaped me as a leader in education. Number 1, the course overview, or what comparative education system is and why is it important. I have learned that comparative education system is not only the systematic study of education across different countries and cultures, but it is about understanding why education looks the way it does in different places. Why do some systems succeed while others struggle? And how do politics, economies, and culture influence these outcomes? One of the first questions we tackled was, why is it important to compare education internationally? It is now clear that in order to improve education at home, we need to understand it globally. We need to look at both the successes and struggles of education systems worldwide. And this helps us to see what works, what doesn't, and why context matters. This opened my eyes to the fact that education reforms cannot happen in isolation, but demands leadership that informed, inclusive, and aware of the broader context. The assignments or the tasks that deepened my understanding is, firstly, we looked at this strong and weak education systems. During this comparison, I analyzed that what makes some systems succeed and others weakens, focusing on leadership, infrastructure, policy, and funding. Strong systems had professional teaching trainings, transparent leadership, adequate funding, and accountability. While weak systems often suffered political instability, poor governance, and inequalities. Yet, colonial legacies still influencing heavily on many education systems, leadership, and curriculums. Secondly, we looked at globalization versus localization, where we looked at the struggle between following global education trends and keeping education relevant to local cultures. This taught me that the one-size-fits-all approach does not work. Education must blend global knowledge with local languages, traditions, and values. And leaders has to balance innovation with preserving cultural identity. Through this task, I didn't just learn about education systems. I learned how to think critically as a leader who can drive meaningful changes. And from the readings or theories that shifted my perspectives, Marxist theory and the College of Board 2014 helped me understand how education reproduces social class inequalities, wealth and power control access to quality education, and institutions like private schools and standardized tests acts as a gatekeeper to some children. I've also read about post-colonial theory, which revealed how colonial histories continued to shape education systems. Often, these systems sideline local languages, knowledge, and leadership values. It challenged me to rethink what quality education means and ask myself what matters between passing foreign exams or empowering local communities. Feminist theory helped me to understand about gender equality, I've learned that feminist theory is not about women empowerment, but it looks at the equality of gender. So true inclusive leadership means actively promoting gender equity in leadership. Then we come to visiting experts. The wisdom that I got from the field is from Mr. Boyce, who gave a powerful talk on decolonizing education, urging us to reject colonial legacies in leadership and curriculums. He called for embracing indigenous knowledge and cultural identity to create education systems that truly serve for African realities. Professor Kanyimba Alex introduced us to the new paradigm 5.0, a modern leadership model that emphasizing adaptability, transformation, and letting go of outdated management styles. His message was clear: education leaders must be visionary and flexible to meet today's global and local challenges. My personal reflection about this course, before this course, I saw leadership mainly as managing schools, budgets, schedules, and targets. Now I see it as a profound social responsibility, which simply means challenging inequality, centering local cultures, addressing historical injustice, and building systems that promote equity, dignity, and inclusion. I have come to understand that as a leader, I must be intentional, reflective, and courageous in shaping systems for the better. This course gave me a global lens to learn from diverse education systems, to critique dominant narratives and local purpose, to lead education that empowers and respect our communities. In conclusion, I've learned that education systems reflect larger social forces, power, identity, and inequality, but Also, that leaders can be a powerful tool for transformation. And from now onwards, I'll be a leader who listens deeply, includes diverse voices, bridge global best practice with local wisdom, and leads not for recognition but for lasting meaningful change. Thank you for joining me in this effective journey.